Hi guys, Erika.Tesla here. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm really excited to talk to you about the Pat McGrath by Bridgerton collection. I did pick up all of the pieces of the collection. I am a huge fan of Pat McGrath and Bridgerton. The only disappointment that I really had with this collection was that the dupe was not included in the package. Unfortunately, he was not included in the shipping, but that is okay. I think I will get over it. So I will be doing an overview of the collection, I will do a tutorial, and then I'll close out with my final thoughts. For today's look, I did use everything that is in the collection, and let's start with the very lovely Diamond of the First Water Mothership. So this is one of Mother Pat's 6-pin palette. Overall, the palette is very kind of pinky with the exception of this blue shade, the Regency Blue, which is one of the sparkly kind of special shades in the palette. Okay, so we have Divine Rose here. So here's Diamond of the First Water. This just for comparison's sake. Divine Rose 2. So the shades are not exactly the same, but you can definitely see some similarities there. So if you are a Pat collector, you probably have very similar shades. The last comparison I will make is her Luxe Quad in Eternal Eden. So again, not exactly the same shades, but we see a lot of similar tones. So if you are newer to the brand, this is definitely going to be like something more unique. But if you have a lot of Pat McGrath palettes, or you have been, if you have a lot of Pat McGrath palettes already, you probably have some similar shades and formulas in your collection. But I will say, I am a big fan, obviously, of Pat and Bridgerton. So when I saw this, I was just really excited. I know that there are differing opinions on the packaging. I actually like the packaging. It is cardboard. It does have this like very girly Regency inspired print, inspired by the show. On the back of the packaging, you can see you have the shade names, and then also the collab is with Netflix and Shonda Rhimes. And so you don't get the same feel that you would get with, like, say, the typical like kind of luxe lacquer packaging, but I think that it makes sense from the perspective of it being a collab, because they're already investing in collabing with the show. And so I think to keep the price point something accessible to more consumers or people who are interested, that it's actually not a bad idea to have it be in cardboard. And so I just think it comes down to personal taste. I personally think it's super cute. You still have the gold embossed logo here, and then the name also in gold. And then the packaging for the blush palette is also very similar, with the Netflix Shondaland logo on the back. And then both of the highlighters have the black lacquer packaging. So what I'm gonna do now is I will just quickly do a couple of swatches to show you what the palettes look like. Iconic Ingenue, Art of the Swoon, and Regency Blue, which is like the sparkly special shade in this palette. So next three shades. The shade Plum Regalia, Duchess Divinity, and Love Match. So those are the shades. Two blush shades that are in here are already in existence in the line. So I'm gonna swatch these for you really quickly so you can see how they look. So I'm just gonna do that right here. Finally, to round everything up, we have the two highlighters in the collection. We have Incandescent Gold, which is a much softer, shinier gold. It's looking kind of white on camera, but in person it's giving champagne, you know, like a little bit softer than it's showing up on camera. That really beautiful embossing on there of the cherub and the crown. And then we have Extreme Gold, which the name is very fitting. It's a very bold gold. And I know for a lot of people, this might not be something that you put on your face, but I'm actually wearing it today. I have it like kind of very gently diffused onto the cheek, and then I put incandescent gold on this side. I think they're both really flattering depending on the look. I'm leaning more towards incandescent gold being the shade that I would apply to my face, but I also used Extreme Gold in the inner corner. And so I actually like how this works on the eyes, like to either highlight the inner corner or even like a little spotlight situation on the lid. So there is a use for this, but you have to really love highlighter or really want this in your collection, because this isn't really maybe one that people would reach for like every single day, but it is super pretty. I love the packaging on both of these. They have, I believe that's supposed to be Daphne Bridgerton's silhouette and framed to look like a cameo, so that's really, really pretty. So let me swatch Incandescent Gold for you and Extreme Gold for you. So you can see they're both really beautiful highlighters. So there's Incandescent Gold, and then there's Extreme Gold. And immediately what comes to mind with the Extreme Gold highlighter is Fenty. The Extreme Gold definitely reminds me, it's giving me like trophy wife vibes, but it's not exactly the same. I did do a little comparison of the two, and I don't know if my Fenty wife was just old, but this came out to be a little bit more intense and bold than trophy wife, which is saying a lot. But yeah, this is definitely a statement highlighter. I think this is the one that's going to be more like everyday use. Even though it looks very icy, I don't personally find this to show up as ashy on the skin, which is something that I do get a little bit nervous about when I see this color of highlighter, but I think it turned out really, really pretty. So I'm going to hop into I will transition to a tutorial to show you guys how I got this Bridgerton inspired look, and then I will close out the video with my final thoughts. Just to wrap up with my final thoughts on this collection, I think that this is going to be for your Bridgerton fan slash Pat McGrath lover. Okay, if you're a stan like me, because I'm a little bit biased, I love her brand, and whenever she puts something out, I get excited, and everybody may not feel that way, and that is totally okay. But I saw this, I personally think that this collection is really cute. I would love to see, because I think the seasons are based on the different books. I haven't read the books, I will admit, but if the seasons are based on like each of the characters, I would love to see for each season a themed collection, and just kind of be able to collect these like little books. It would have been really cute to even have something here on the spine of the palette in case you wanted to store it that way, and have like a little, you know, makeup library. I felt like I had a pretty easy time creating a look with the products. I really love the show. I love the diversity of the show. I love the costumes. I think my favorite character outside of the Duke is probably Queen Charlotte. Since this get up today, I was like, I have to represent, okay, for the Bridgerton ladies. And yeah, so overall I really like this collection. I think that it is going to be a lot of fun for those of you who are Bridgerton fans, and if not, then I think it's a great way to be introduced to the brand if you wanted to try something out and not spend the $100+ $120 for one of the mothership palettes, and just try some of the shades out. We have the blush palette, and what I will say about the blush palette is if you already have the blushes, there's a chance that you might have repeats, because these are re-released shades, except with the exception of the highlighter. So this is the same shade, but as you can see in the blush palette, the pans are a little bit smaller, and the case is the same for the eyeshadow palette. The pans are a little bit smaller, so that's something else to consider. And here is the shade Cherish. So it's the same color, but as you can see, the pan sizes are smaller. It's up to you to decide if that is a good value for you. If you feel like this is a little bit less cumbersome, a little bit more convenient to have, as opposed to having two blushes. But if you wanted this like special edition packaging, there you go. Very, very pretty. Now onto the highlighters. Final thoughts on these. I think that of the two, my favorite again is the incandescent gold. I love the embossing on here. I really like the finish. I feel like I kind of have that wet look on the cheek, which is really pretty. And I managed to get extreme gold to not look too intense, but you could definitely build it up. I mean, if you're not careful, you're going to have like a big gold streak on your face. But I really like the idea of this too as a multi-purpose highlighter for the face and the eyes. You could get really creative with this. You could probably even put this on your lips and top it with a gloss if you wanted to do something a little bit creative or avant-garde with this. It's all up to you, what's practical for you, what works for you, what you feel would be the best use of these. So I would say that I'm going to really enjoy this collection. I'm really excited, especially about the palette and the incandescent gold highlighter. I would say those are probably my two favorite products from the line. Overall, I am really excited about it. I really hope that Dame Pat continues to collaborate with Bridgerton. I'm excited for future collections. I think it was actually a really brilliant decision to collab. I think Pat McGrath is the perfect person to do this collection. So just to wrap up, thank you guys so much for watching today. Please don't forget to like this video, Make sure to leave me a comment and let me know what you think about this collection and other things you would like to see me talk about. And if you feel compelled to do so, I hope that you subscribe to my channel. I would love to have you join me and talk about makeup and be makeup buddies. Thank you again so much for watching and spending a part of your day with me. I really appreciate it, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.